It is 8:10 a.m. It is May 1st. What a wild end to the month of April. I talked about this yesterday, and if it broke those 2 week lows that I talked about yesterday, we could take a ride lower, and boy, did we. It really sold off once it broke that second week low, and pretty healthy sell off, which could point to hedging prior to FOMC and the month close, on the end of the month, because things just ripped after those levels were broke. All the longs that were up there by the most traded price of the week all had to basically liquidate their positions. And a little frustrated on my end that that plan that I talked about pre-market did come to fruition, and I waited for a little confirmation, and then I don't chase, and that turned out to be, wow, that would have been a monster short there. But that's trading. You don't always catch everything, and then I don't. That rule, I don't chase. So, um, yeah, that one hurt a little bit. But anyway, we got a bunch of earnings that happened yesterday. Amazon and AMD. AMD's down 6.17%. Amazon's up 1.58%. Okay, AMD's taken down semis in sympathy. CVS reported they didn't give a great guidance, so they are down and bringing healthcare down. Some healthcare stocks down with it. So that's what's going on this morning. Um, what else is going on? Anyway, let's just introduce myself and my channel. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile and market profile to find structure in the market, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the rolling month, the rolling week, and the previous day. Also, anchor VWAPs. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And they just give me a foundation to look at, right? It's like a roadmap. And then every morning, we'll do it live usually around 8:30. I seem to do it. We'll get right into scenarios. Now today's a little special because FOMC today, and you got a lot of news dropping today as well. So FOMC today at 2 p.m. followed by the press conference at 2:30. I'd only expect anything of any quality of trading for the first hour, and then the market should die waiting for FOMC. It's not the best trading scenario in the morning, but it's decent. It's decent. The volume is a little higher than has been like yesterday's sell-off caused some volume, but before that it was low volume. So we'll go over all of that, and we have 8:15. We have ADP employment change reporting, and there's a slew of stuff coming up. All right. So without further ado, subscribe if you haven't already. Set an alert. Okay. Also, if you enjoy my content, please give me a thumbs up. And that's not a thumbs up. That's my X at Gonzo709. All right. But if you do like it, you give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to get into these futures, right? Watch list. Let's do that. And let's see where we're going. Bitcoin is broke that 60K. So let's see here. VIX. We got that VIX above 16 again. 16 VIX is a 1% expected move in the S&P, and of course today is FOMC. So yesterday we were down to 14 VIX, and then it just skyrocketed, especially what Yellen was talking about. She's worried about the deficit, which you don't really hear her say. Yeah, still hurts to that short that I almost entered. It would have been a monster. Anyway, silver up 0.51, gold up 0.23, ether up 0.17. 30-year bonds are being bought. 30-year bonds are being bought. All right, that should send the 10-year yield a tiny lower, but all this doesn't matter really because of today's FOMC. Dollar's kind of flat. 10-year yield. Dow's down 0.24. Yes, so the market's still down, even from a big down day. Okay, we'll talk about possible scenarios with that. ES down 0.42. Russell down 0.4. It's moving on me here. 0.41. Nasdaq down 0.63. Bitcoin down 1.52% underneath that support 60K. Crude down 1.75%. Okay, maybe looking at the rates coming into play here. Maybe demand for oil. So oil is pulling back, down 1.78%, down 1.4 $1.47 a barrel. Okay, it's coming into a key level though. Maybe we'll get into that if we have time. All right, moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Of course, we had Amazon report. They are up 1.34%. Okay, they initially, I believe, went down, then shot up higher, but then kind of settled around here. Snow, probably in sympathy with Amazon, the cloud business is up almost 1%. Let's see when they report. They report the 22nd. See, so they're just cloud based. So Microsoft up 0.3, Google's up 0.29. So now we get into some laggards here. Okay, Meta communication sector is down 0.91. So Meta, ever since it's really kind of made a couple attempts to go higher, but Coinbase down 1.19 at $200 $200 a barrel. Thinking it's crude. It's down to $200. Very interesting, right? Bitcoin's really losing that support level. So let's see. Tesla down 1.46. So Tesla, after that China news, it's kind of taking a back seat. It was almost up to $200 about two. Geez, I keep thinking crude. I'm up to $200. I don't know why I keep saying $200 a barrel. Nvidia down 1.51 in sympathy with AMD, and AMD, the big loser, down 6.24%. All right. So let's bring the semis down. All right, moving on to the top sector stocks. Okay. Now, I'm liking this right now. Johnson and Johnson up 2.43%. They are paying off all these talc lawsuits, something like $1 billion or something. I think finally you're getting off this. You're getting this off your plate, and it's the people are liking this. Okay, holding over their heads. All right, now let's get into the laggards here. MasterCard just reported, so Visa is down. So MasterCard maybe didn't have something they liked there. Eli Lilly is down 0.27. Exxon with crude going down, Exxon's down 0.33. Qualcomm with semis down 0.51. United Healthcare is down 1.1%, 1.1% because of CVS saying medical costs. Okay, I don't love that with CVS. I don't love that because I own CVS. However, I own it at a great price, so I might add to that position. Again, not financial advice. Okay, not financial advice. So that's going on there. Now let's look at the swings because we have some other stocks here that reported earnings. Donald Trump stock up 4.75%. Riot, interesting, up 2.6%, 2.8%. Garmin up 1.75. 3M up 1.15. That's really it for the leaders and laggards here. You're going to see a bunch of laggards here. Skyworks down 14.38%. Okay. Starbucks, man, they're getting hit hard. Starbucks is getting hit hard. Down 12.77%. CVS getting hit hard. Down 11.73%. Okay. Supermicro Computers down 9.77%. Norwegian Cruise Lines down 3.8%. Tilray down 2.83%. MasterCard reported earnings down 2.48%. SoundHound down 2.12%. There's the Bitcoin ETF down 1.73%. ARM, SoFi, Mara, right? Taiwan Semiconductors, Micron, Vertiv, Carnival Cruise Line. So we're getting weakness here. We're still getting some weakness here. Okay, moving back here to the top of the list. Move back to top sectors, and we go to sectors. Okay, here's the broad sectors. Industrial, there's no leader. There's no leader. Okay, let's get into the weakness. So financials down 0.17, energy down 0.19, discretionary. That's your Tesla, that's your Amazon. See, and so they're fighting. So that's the two largest holdings. They're down 0.35 with Tesla weakness. XLK is the largest sector in the S&P 500. It's about 29% of it. It is down 0.44 because that includes semiconductors, okay, and Microsoft, Apple. Semis down 1.21%. Okay, with AMD. 1.21%. All right, now we can get into our news, our economic calendar, and our earnings. Okay, let's move on. Now, the ADP employment change is already reported. We'll look at that. Okay. Not sure if the big chief, is with us this morning. That's Rosita, aka Many Jobs, Many Avenues. There she is. I tried to call you yesterday, Chief, but I know why that happens at the end. I have a lag going so I can have closed captions. And with that lag, when I end my stream, it cuts off because there's such a lag. So I just got to wait maybe another 10, 20 seconds, and then I can kill my feed. Otherwise, I don't get closed captions. So let's get into this. All right. So, ADP employment change. What were we expecting? Forecast 162. You have a 192. Okay, that's a positive. Okay. What else here? 8:30 Treasury refunding announcement. That's coming at 8:30. All right. So 9:45 you have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. Okay. 10 a.m. you have ISM Manufacturing PMI and JOLTS Jobs and ISM Manufacturing Employment. So there's a slew of data coming out today. And then you have FOMC at 2 and then the press conference at 2:30. Okay. Now, that kind of sucks because I don't think you're going to have that much quality of trading. So really your trading for me is only going to take place probably from like 10:10. Hope I can enter something if there is something to enter before 11, because then I would expect the market to just die. Okay. So a slew of data coming out today. All right, a slew of data. Now, let's go over to some upgrades and downgrades. Let's see what we got here this morning. So I'm going to only talk about the notables. American Tower got an upgrade. Dollar Tree got an upgrade. 3M got an upgrade. Siri got an upgrade. Downgrades. I'm only going to Starbucks downgrades. All right. Skyworks downgrades. Boyd Gaming downgrade. Right. Coverage initiative. I'm just looking at here. Amazon got a outperform and a price target of 215. I'm just going to go here to see if there's anything that was missing. 3M downgrades. Just want to see if there's any other downgrades that I have to talk about. Nope. Okay, let's go to the juice. What's the juice got for us? The First Bank of England rate cut no longer fully priced in for September. Okay. And we got the ADP employment change we just talked about. Nothing else to report here. Here we'll probably just get into the earnings that just dropped. And here's that. We'll just recap that together. So we got Amazon stock rose 1% after the e-commerce and tech giants first quarter earnings beat estimates. AMD stock fell over 7% after the chipmaker said it expects AI chip sales of roughly $4 billion for 2024, an increase of $500 million from its prior estimate for the year. However, this was not enough to meet Wall Street's lofty expectations. Supermicro computer stock fell 13% after the chip makers' forecast of $4 billion in AI chip sales for 2020 fell short. Starbucks stock dropped 12%. Kraft Heinz stock fell to 3.9%. Pfizer stock rose 1%. What else here? Estee Lauder stock fell 5.9%. Marriott International stock 1.7%. Pinterest stock surged 16% after the social media firm forecast second quarter revenue above Wall Street estimates. And there's my heartbreaker for this morning. CVS Health stock slumped 11% after the pharmacy chain reported a decline in the first quarter profits. All right, moving on. Some other news. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, now this says, now remember, Apple is reporting earnings tomorrow. It says preview Apple set for big sales decline as investors await AI and iPhones. Interesting. Let's see here. We just went over a bunch of news, so I just want to make sure. Caesars Entertainment, the company missed market expectations. What else here? We already went over CVS. Like I said, I don't want to repeat myself. Johnson and Johnson, I talked about. The company is moving forward with 6.475 billion proposed settlement of tens of thousands of lawsuits alleging that its baby powder and other talc contain asbestos and cause ovarian cancer. So they're getting that off their books. What else? Let's see here. And Pinterest we talked about. I just want to go over stuff that's important. Starbucks got poor earnings. We talked about Supermicro computers. All right, that's about it there. We can go right into our earnings. We talked about this a little bit already, but let's go. So this morning, Pfizer, CVS, Barrick Gold, MasterCard, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Wingstop Craft, Estee Lauder, Marriott. We talked about these after the close today. Qualcomm, Devon Energy, Carvana, Fastly, Etsy. Those are reporting after the close. Tomorrow, before the open, Peloton, Moderna, Penn Gaming, ConocoPhillips, Cigna, Wayfair, and then tomorrow is the big boy, Apple, and you have Coinbase and Block and DraftKings. Okay, Fortinet, Amgen, Booking Holdings, Expedia. That's what's on tap for tomorrow. Okay. And now, one thing I do like to do um, is rebalance my sectors. Now, why isn't it giving me that option? Why? Usually see my favorites here. Bookmarks. Let's see here. Let's see if I can go to it. Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this. Great. Boom. And I just go to sector breakdown. Okay. So this is real important for me and my one indicator I have. Okay. So this is just the weights. All right. This is how the S&P moves. So information technology is 29.3% of the S&P 500. So it's weighted. All right. This is why I have a weighted the indicator from Shadow Trader that puts this all into an indicator. Okay. So real estate, utilities, materials, energy, staples don't move the market at all. They don't even, doesn't matter what real estate does at all. Could be tanking, it doesn't matter. These are the big ones. Information technology, 29.3%. Financials, 13.2%. Healthcare, 12.4%. Consumer discretionary, 10.4%. Communication services, 9.2%. Now, communication services has been surging up, mainly because of Google now, but Meta was up there. It probably would have been closer to 10. So then you kind of go to industrials, consumer staples, and the ones that don't matter as much. Okay, so these guys move the market. Whatever they're doing, you got to pay attention to it. Okay, so I will update these, okay, in my indicator that I have. I'll just show you that really quickly. Let's see if I updated this. Maybe you might not even be able to see it. Hopefully you can. Yeah, real quick. Right here, this is indicator here. It takes all of that information and makes it into a graph here, into this chart. So that's yesterday. See, yesterday it was positive, and then at 10:55 it was boom, right? So that's that. Let's get in now to the daily charts. Into the daily charts. All right. So yesterday, yeah. All right. So we couldn't break over this 50-day moving average, right? And you couldn't break over that 20-day moving average, and then you just slipped, right? You took out these lows, right? And you went all the way down here. Closed at 501, basically 502. Okay? Big move. Big, big, big move. Most likely taking risk off the plate for today. All right, taking risk off for today. Now, okay, kind of in the middle of this channel, not the best area to be in. Okay, so where are we now? 534, 500. We are gapping down. We're down here now. 500s are going to be a major level. Okay, let me see if I can put the gamma exposure levels here. Let's get that up there. That's the last time I didn't do that. There we go. So 500, you can see right here is a major negative gamma level. Next one is 490. Okay, we could even zoom in here. 500 right here. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay, the thicker the line, the bigger the open interest. So this is 500. I would think would have been bigger than that, but it is still a major level. Okay, so that's the gamma exposure levels. Let's take that off for now. Okay, now, all right. Now, if we're already down here, and the expected move today is $5.26, right? So say from the close of yesterday, that would put us at 497 around here. Okay, so if we move lower, this is last week's lows, 495.57. That's in the 100-day moving averages right here. That could be a possible destination lower. Okay, right here. Now up, you want to go up, 502, you add 5 to that, that's 507. 507 would bring us over here, right? So that's the expected move. Let's look at futures together and get to see what futures is looking at right now. Now in the futures, you're got support of the 100-day moving average right now, see? And we're in the lower end of yesterday's session. Okay? So right here, holding the lows, that is bearish, right? That is bearish. Expecting 51 points in the futures today. 51, it's priced in. Now, let's go to the Qs. All right, so the Qs, what do we do here? Still have this uptrend line, didn't touch that. But look, got the 100-day moving average. You hit that 100-day moving average, you had resistance at the 20, right? This area proved to be resistance right here. That was last month's. Well, now, this was March lows, monthly lows here. That was acting as resistance, and now we've rolled over. Okay, where are we now? 423. We're gapping lower. We're gapping down. Okay, now this trend line, let's say today is the first, so we'll go over here. It's about at 423. If we tap that 423, maybe we tap that and you bounce up for FOMC. Maybe not. Let's look at the NASDAQ futures and see what that looks like. Okay, so look, 20-day simple moving average in futures was resistance, right? You crossed the 100-day moving average in futures, crossed the 90-day daily, so you're under all moving averages, and you're just at the lows right here, right? Little balanced candle here. So could you possibly go down here today? Possibly, right? Possibly. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go to the triple headed. I'm running late today. Now we'll briefly go over these because these are going to change significantly. All right, we're in a range in 10-year. Okay, it's holding these highs, but today is crucial to FOMC. All right, now let's look at the dollar. Same thing. Looks very similar, right? Holding this range, waiting for FOMC, basically. Okay, now the VIX did get a spike yesterday. We started to get fear again. So look, we bottomed here at 14. Yesterday we were down there, and then wham, we're up again over 16. So fear is back. Okay, you hit the 200-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, fear is back. All right, so that is your triple-headed monster, and that will change today. All right, with the FOMC. Now, there's been sticky inflation, so it's going to be very curious to see what Powell says about the sticky inflation. All right, now we're going to go to structure. Let's do it. All right, let's look at this together. Here's your profile. See, we never got that bullish, the bullish imbalance is still there. So now you have that move lower, and you still have a bullish imbalance in the profile. Okay, obviously we took a big fall, but still a lot. This is why we fell. Okay, you have this candle here, rose us up. You had Google earnings here, and we held those earnings. See all these longs? Held them up here. The most traded price of the week was here, and yesterday we hit our head, broke that, right? So there's that week low I talked about. That's the first single print, went right through there. Then the next one, I said there was another week low here. Guess what we did here? We had we built out some volume here. It didn't just chop through this, but once it got through the most traded price of the month, look what happened. Like I said, remember if I said if it accepts lower, single prints. You rip from those levels, and then you push down here and closed here. Okay, so that's why that happened. Now let's look at price. Now price is here, 50.56. Okay, 50.56. Now I don't, for the fade of the morning, this is already taking that off the table a little bit. So if we look at this, first thing you want to notice is the 50% retracement of that move is 50.96. It's roughly the most traded price of the month, okay, which is 5,100. So if we were to get back there, it's 5,100. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. Now, we are 100% net short overnight. Everybody's short. You know everyone's short from here. Okay, I would have liked to see price down here because then you could possibly get a move back up. But now look, the bottom's been bought. We're at the most traded price. We're at the middle of the session. So that kind of, I want to see price back here. Okay. Now let's look at this overnight. Yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows. Okay. Now we have some levels here. Overnight low, overnight high. Now what's interesting about the overnight high, because it's 100% net long, means there's a weak high here. Okay, weak high. So this could be a resistant point or a breakout point. Now you do have single prints here and here. That's emotional selling. Usually won't cause much resistance. Now, with this level, that's the gauge. Because now we're within this lower portion here. This is bearish structure, okay? Most traded price of the overnight is here. So if we push down and we go over that and we break through this, okay, this is the close. Remember, everyone had positions yesterday was here, would have been short. So if you knock that out and you come up, you could clean these singles and possibly go up to the 50% retracement of 5,100 and then wait for Powell. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's possible. Okay, let's get into the scenarios. Okay, I'm not even sure if I'll have time for the NASDAQ. Hopefully it's similar, but let's get into it right now. All right, so we will talk about bullish. All right, there's demand down here. This is a naked VPOC. Just means it's a most traded price of the past and had never been touched. This session here, remember, is the session where Google reported at the end. Okay, so we almost took that day back. Not all, almost. So you have demand down here. Okay, so what did I say? The week low is the resistance or a breakout point right here. You have demand, you have supply right here in the way. You have a new monthly VWAP also right there because we're in a new month. Okay, so if I'm a bull and you think FOMC, right? So people don't know what Powell's going to say. So you have to think of that in that context. So I would like to see a push down. which would be a gap lower, maybe touch the overnight low and go into this demand zone. If you can't spend too much time down here and you start making higher lows in the market is not that weak, you could potentially get a nice bounce. Okay. Now, what I would like to see is you take out some of the supply, which we might have already. I have to look at the charts. If you start working your way, and there's the most traded price at overnight, if you hold this and you that weak high right here, you could lift off, cut through those single prints, and maybe go to 5100, like I said before. It's probably the only thing I'd be looking at, and I'd really be patient down here, right? Because we already sold off hard, and now we have big news coming at 2. So, are people really going to keep selling? I don't know, right? But I do want to be there for a bounce, a little bear trap, and maybe possibly go back up to the most traded price of the month. Okay, now, if we're looking at the bear side, okay, you do have this line here as the weak high. That can act as resistance. Like I said, you look at it both ways. So, same thing. Even if we come down here and pop into this supply, this is going to be your test. This does not mean it's broken. If it comes back lower high, you're going to revisit probably these lows. Okay, you're going to revisit them. Now, of course, we can just go lower. Okay, we can just go. You could also just open and pop right into the supply, and people get the one last sell off, and then you possibly could bounce, right? Because I don't think you have much movement here for the short. You have I'm put it here. Let's just say if we did rocket up into here to this supply in 5100, I would expect this to be resistance, but then I don't expect us to just fall because of the big news coming. You'd have to have a lot of time to do that. I don't really see that in the cards. All right, it's the highest probability. Okay, so that is that. Okay, that's the ES. Now let's go over to the Nasdaq, and I have time. I have a little bit of time left. Let's go to it. Okay. Now profile, get excess to the lower. You still have that bullish imbalance here. Okay. Price is here. We're gapping slightly down. Okay, you got a very balanced profile in the overnight. Underneath the most share price of the week, right? You had all that concentration up here, just like in this ES or the SPY, and you blew through it, right? You blew through this week low and this week low, just like I talked about pre-market yesterday. Okay, so we're close to yesterday's lows, very balanced. We are also have the week high here, which happens to be the close or the settlement from yesterday, and the overnight highs. Okay, this is your breakout point or resistance point, like I said in the SPY and the ES. Okay, we're in the middle, 100% net short, but we're in the middle. So you got bought up here, you got a demand zone that you nipped here. Okay, so the same scenarios really. Okay, same scenarios. So that's pretty cool. At least they work out like that. So like I said, to reiterate, here's your breakout line, right? I would like to see a push down, get a little bear trap, and then get one push, go through the most traded price of the overnight and these supply zones, work your way up, and possibly rip up to at least maybe yesterday's most traded price. The midpoint is 50% retracement is 177. Possibly. This is like a possibly, right? It would just get people that were overly short to cover and then say, okay, I'll wait for Big Powell to talk. Okay. Now, same thing here in the short. Here's your resistance line that you want to look at. Again, you can either come right up to it, try to go up, can't, and then you're probably going to revisit these overnight lows. Okay, or like I said, you open up, you rip up, and if you want to stay short and be on the short side, you're going to look at these supply zones in this level to roll over. And I don't think the rollover will be that significant, but you never know. Okay, so that was your NQ scenarios. Okay, that will do it for me today. Okay, hopefully everybody got the plans. Like I said, I'm not expecting much this morning, and we have a lot of news. Remember, you got 9:45, 10 a.m. news. So you have a very small window to catch something. Okay, and it might not even come to fruition because then it's just 2 p.m. Okay, these are not my favorite days to trade in the morning pre FOMC, but there could be something there. So I'll just be patient. All right. So I hope everybody has a great day. Hope everybody stays green and stays patient. Once FOMC comes off, I'm not a big guy who likes to trade that unless I see really something. Maybe, right? If something sets up, maybe with a big level. But I'd like to just put something on tomorrow, the day after, because usually there's a fake out move and the initial move's wrong, but you never know. Okay, so like I said, hopefully I see everybody tomorrow. Not hopefully, I will see everybody tomorrow morning, and we got our plan. Okay, remember the week high. The week high is everything in both the ES and the Nasdaq. All right, and good luck.